welcome to Tybalt's Apprentice. It's the day after Christmas, and this deck is getting reworked. It's based somewhat on a discussion that I had with Cptwaffles. He suggested a card, the third path, to be added to the deck. And that set my mind ablaze and just got all kinds of other things going that made me re-examine the deck. So I'm reworking it right now to make it a little bit better and a little bit more efficient. The fact that I can cast cheap instants and sorceries from my hand, and that's great. The fact that I can cast them a second time, provided I have the mana, also makes them of value. So we have those things. As you can see, I'm throwing some demons in there. Of course, we're going to go with Xander because I just love his effect. And if I reanimate multiple copies of him, I have the enter the battlefield triggers as well as the leave the battlefield triggers. I'm now considering pressing my advantage by making them get rid of their entire deck. That could possibly hurt me. I don't know. We'll see. What I do think is maybe a better solution would be the Vein Ripper, because he is not legendary. I can get multiple copies out of him, and I can gain a little bit of life. Let's see how these things work. When you're playing this deck, the absolute best way to play it is to make sure that you get a Faithless Looting in hand to start with. But if you can't, well, this is what I'm going for. We've also tweaked the land base a little bit to get more of any color mana. Let's mill 10 for ourselves to see what we get. We've got a reanimate spell in the graveyard, and we're up against artifacts. Well, how annoying is this going to be? Let's continue to mill ourselves to make sure that we have everything in the graveyard that we need. Not bad for having 3 lands, and we can always Faithless Loot. Well, do I even count that as a victory if they tremble in fear at my full graveyard? Sure we do. All right, not a starting hand, so we mulligan. There's the Faithless Looting. This, I actually want to go in the graveyard. I'm actually going to throw this away because I can make the choice. I can always pull one with a Faithless Looting. Yeah, there we go. I pulled another one so I can throw these 2 right into the trash. Turn 3, I'll Faithless Loot again if I can. I really wish those lands tapped for 2 colors, but since we're kind of on a budget here, we can't. We're going to wait for our 3rd turn to Faithless Loot again. And we're up against red-blue. We're always going to take a chance at counter spells. They're committing their entire board, though. So I feel safe about being able to pitch 2 more cards. They could be, lying in wait. That's what I like to see. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pitch this and make the choice of the cards going into the graveyard. Milling yourself out for 10 is great, but you don't always know what you've got milled. Do your Faithless Looting first if you can. Take the damage if you have to. But I've added Zombify to this also. They're just plain old cards that I have not accrued in my what's the word I'm looking for? My library? My collection? Yeah, how about collection? Because it's a collection of cards. Duh. I can drop this. Let's just Faithless Loot again. Yeah, put a Xander in there. And because the Zombify can bring anything back, whereas the Persist only brings back a non-legendary, the only thing I can get back is a Vein Ripper. The fact that he has 3 creatures, well, if he wants to sack them all, I'll gladly take the life and get rid of the Vein Ripper. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Anyhow, in the meantime, I hope you guys had a great Christmas, or the best Christmas that you could. Yep, he's going for it. And sack that creature. All right. And yeah, you kill him, and I'll gain a little bit of life. You've tapped out your blue sources. Ah, dang it. All right. 1 blue source. He's committing everything to the board. Well, got to respect that. I'll take all the damage down to 5 life. Now, what's the best way to do this? I do not have what I want in the graveyard. So I'm, of course, looking for my Scholar. My Scholar's not there. I will Breach the Multiverse and hope to breach into a Scholar. Let's look at theirs first. I like the idea of using things out of the graveyard, and I did not get it. But we'll bring this back onto the board, and hopefully he will waste his resources trying to destroy the Vein Ripper, which will cost him creatures and allow me to gain a bit of life. At least that's what we're hoping. I don't like the fact that he's got that and can make them massive, but it just depends on whether he's going to commit to the board. And I still don't have a Scholar in the trash. I want him in the graveyard. Well, I see that they're playing a little bit longer game instead of just trying to wipe me out entirely. So, I think that I'll just have to take it. Oh, then they're going to bring this back. Now, is this going to cost them enough that I'm going to survive? I don't know. I'm not doing the math. In fact, where does that put us?
You are dead. Not a big surprise.
Where it puts us. All right. The deck's not infallible. That's all right, though. We'll give it another go. We may do 2 out of 3. Maybe we'll do 3 out of 4 since that first win didn't really count for much. That's not a good sign when they start out with ley lines. The Faithless Looting, that ability to draw cards and then throw them away is great. Another change that I made is this one. Allows me to throw 1 more card in the trash and pull 2 more. So this deck probably has a little ways yet to go. It's not perfect, but it can be fun. Keeps the game short and entertaining. That's what we're going for. Let's put some reanimation in the graveyard, and let's just start out big. What was I saying about keeping the game short? That's not too bad. Moving right along, let's see where we can go from here. Faithless Looting, things to throw in the graveyard. Persist. It's a good start. I would have rather had to Breach the Multiverse or something else, but that's okay because I can draw. I can find something good. I'm actually going to throw the Persist in the graveyard because the Mizzix Mastery will let me cast it from the graveyard if I need to for free. So at this point, the thing that we're weakest against is graveyard hate, of course, and counter spells. But isn't every deck allergic to that? Ooh, interesting. All right, so they're going to draw some cards. 18-18, I like it. I don't like that. All right, drop this. We'll throw away 2 cards. Hopefully we'll draw into something. If not, we have another Reanimate. We can always throw away a Reanimate in a land. And we have that Mizzix Mastery. So we can recast either the Persist or anything else that we need. All right, going for legendary cards. Well, that narrows down to Persist being able to... Well, that's my graveyard, not theirs, right? So, ooh, up against creatures. Well, let's see what we can do here. They're getting big. Even if they kill my Scholar, it just means I reanimate him and I get more choices from the graveyard then. Let's see. Always like a Palladium Angel in there just to reanimate an artifact. The Scholar can do that for me. Let's make sure that we have all the mana that we need. And we'll just Mizzix. Let's see. Yeah. Have they thrown anything good in the graveyard? Have I thrown anything good in the graveyard? Were you paying attention? Because I wasn't. All right. That's not the biggest hit. But at least we got something of theirs. So I don't feel so bad about losing that if that happens. And, nope. I would like some better spells in the graveyard. Maybe mana resource management is a little bit of a concern here, but I still feel good about my position. There we go. There's the breach. We can, if the games go long enough, we can get to the point where we cast these. Let's draw a card. There we go. Discard a card. 7 mana. I'm at 5. That's in the graveyard. Like I said, we can hard cast some of these larger spells if we have to, if the game will go long enough. Let's do this. Yeah, what does that do for us? Nothing. Not much. I should read the card before I start acting on it. But who's got time for that? Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. Like I was saying earlier, hopefully you got everything you wanted for Christmas. If you have any extra cash laying around, you can always go buy, Dark Ritual on TCGplayer. My manager's shaking their head. Maybe that was a rough segue to get into pushing my cards. What's really important is that you actually go check me out on Instagram. That would be better. Let's go ahead and block because I can reanimate. Maybe they don't realize what they're up against. I'll let them lose their own creature, and I will happily send him to the graveyard as long as they don't have an exile effect. I should make a note and pay attention to this stuff. Is he going to make it indestructible? Sure, that's fine. Oh, that wasn't quite what I hoped for. But how much mana do I have? 5 mana on the board. I could put down this so that I had 6. Reanimate, and I think that's everything I need for a victory. Let's breach the multiverse. Try to get another scholar. And let's breach. Actually, what are we getting from them? Let's get. Sure. Why not do that? And yeah, we'll go ahead and just bring everything back. Bring all of their stuff back. All of my stuff back. Did I get the? Oh, we didn't even let me show you what multiple Xanders can do. That's sad. We have, well, that's about it for now. I think we'll just check the description for a current list of what is in this deck. In the meantime, thanks for watching.